All right, you wanted to talk about debanking.
Yes, and I read an article in the Free Press a couple months ago, October, about debanking. And I think if anyone followed the truckers in Canada,
Yes.
right? So these truckers, they took away their credit card. So, but in the U.S., the bank has been booting customers for political reasons. And Melania Trump claimed that her and her son Barron were both debanked. The bank asked them to leave. And then I was listening to an interview with Mark Andreessen in the last few days, and we were talking about it, brought it up again, and I started.
I listened to the same interview, I believe.
Because he's a brilliant person.
Yeah, he's really smart.
Yeah, Mark Andreessen. He created the first
Andreessen,
Google.
Horowitz,
the first
PayPal,
the first
Google.
Whatever. He's a brilliant venture capitalist guy. Tech. Anyway. But I started thinking, like, these are federally regulated institutions. They can't necessarily choose who they work with and who they don't work with. It's not like a local gas station and you're rude and the owner of the gas station says, you're not welcome here anymore. We refuse to serve you because you're a jerk. In a bank, they have FDIC insurance. Taxpayers are standing behind them, making them good. Like, I think this is one of the areas that the government needs to take a look at and say, and put an end to this sort of practice. Just because you don't agree with someone politically or whatnot. And it's both. It's not just a right wing thing
or left wing.
It's been on both ends.
That's right.
On both ends.
Yeah. Yeah. We started the show. I said the hypocrisy on both sides is pretty,
of course,
overwhelming.
But the last thing I want is for and live in a country where a political opponent, someone calls up someone at the bank.
A regulator and says,
I mean, just like we saw what happened with the Twitter files during the government was working with Facebook and all that, saying we want you guys to take these people off, deplatform them. The same thing can happen in the banking system.
It can happen to you.
Well, that's just it. If it can happen to somebody else, it can happen to me.
Yes, it can happen to you.
Right.
Yeah, it can happen to you.
And who knows? I just think it's one of those areas that it seems like there's a spotlight on it right now. I saw another news article last week or two, and it's just one of those areas, I think.
Yeah. And actually, you recommended the Free Press to me, and I do enjoy it, actually. Sometimes you're like, is this right wing? And sometimes you're like, is this left wing?
They were trying to get to 1 million subscribers. That's exactly why I like it.
Because,
Barry Weiss, the creator, she's a lesbian Jew. And her wife writes, and they talk about their kid together and stuff, which is, and like, how many lesbian Jew couples do you know? I don't know many lesbian Jew But they're all over the spectrum, and that's what I really like about the publication.
Hence the name Free Press. But then
they're really trying to show all sides.
Free Press. So.
Yeah, is this a right wing or left wing? Precisely. That gets me to think better instead of just reading stuff that I already agree with.